Hello. Yeah, I'm gonna cheat, and that's not bad, right? You can hear me? All right.
evening. I'd like to wish our Asian community a happy Lunar New Year, Year of the Dragon celebration, and to our African American community a wonderful Black History Month. And now I call the February 12th, 2024 Board of Commissioners Business Meeting to order. Our Pledge of Allegiance tonight will be done by Officer Montana Lightheart. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Ms. Logan, will you please do the roll call?
Catherine Carter, President.
Here.
Rebecca Moody, Vice President.
Here.
Denise Hall, Commissioner.
Here.
Liz McNaney, Commissioner.
Here.
Gregory Mull, Commissioner.
Here.
Sandra Zidell, Township Manager.
Here.
Megan Weaver, Assistant Township Manager.
Here.
Lauren Gallagher, Township Solicitor.
Here.
Nicholas Cross, Township Engineer.
Here.
David Duffy, Chief of Police.
Here.
Nathan Crittenden, Finance Director. And it is noted that Zoning Officer Van Rieger is absent.
Ms. Gallagher, were there any executive sessions?
Board met in executive session earlier this evening to discuss the matter of personnel.
Thank you. I'll now turn it over to Chief Duffy.
Thank you very much, President Carter. So we have a few more commendations tonight, and then in March we have one final one for the foreseeable future. So thank you for letting us do these commendations in the beginning of the year again. First up tonight, once again, second week in a row, Officer Dana Hallam. She's receiving an official commendation, whereas on August 8th, 2022 at 18:32 hours at Upper Gwynedd Police responded to a call of an assault and a subject armed with a baseball bat on Route 202 Parkway at Welsh Road. Excuse me, Officer Dana Hallam arrived on scene and learned that a female motorist was stopped in her vehicle when a male from another car came out and struck her vehicle several times with a baseball bat. The female motorist sustained cuts to her face and knee from a window that shattered from the strikes. The suspect then fled the scene. Whereas Officer Hallam worked quickly to identify the suspect and learned that he had an active warrant for aggravated assault from another jurisdiction. Officer Hallam's investigative steps included, but were not limited to, detailed interviews, preparing and administering a photo display for the victim and witnesses, and the search of automatic license plate reader records. Whereas the suspect was apprehended on August 11th and incarcerated at Montgomery County Prison. Officer Hallam interviewed the suspect there and obtained a confession to the crimes. Suspect later pled guilty to aggravated assault and related charges. Therefore, Officer Dana Hallam is formally recognized and commended for her dedication, thorough investigation, and concern for the victim in this case, which led to a successful arrest and prosecution of a violent offender. The next commendation is a meritorious service medal. So in the police department, we have 4 medals: meritorious service, valor, community service, and officer of the year. This is the officer of the year medal. Each of the medals starts off with a star for the first one, and after that, 2, 3, 4, and so on. It's not just because I'm cheap. It's just, I don't want him running over the shoulder, but I am cheap. But so this medal is going to Sergeant Brinkman, and the first time that I've had to order a number 4, because he has received, this is his 4th meritorious service commendation medal. So, Sarge, if you can bring it up. I'm still waiting on the 4, but it's coming. So, whereas for the past several years, Sergeant John Brinkman has overseen the Upper Gwynedd Police Field Training Program, or FTO program. The program has undergone many revisions and improvements to keep up with current training requirements and best practices. This program is facilitated through specially trained and experienced FTOs who are carefully selected based on recommendations from Sergeant Brinkman. Once chosen, FTOs need to continuously perform well to remain in this important assignment. Whereas the FTO program has proven to be a success in having newly hired officers prepared to police our community in the professional manner our residents have come to expect, the program and the success of the officers who have gone through it are a credit to Sergeant Brinkman's leadership. Whereas after many years of service and performing this assignment, and after overseeing the training of 3 new officers at the same time, Sergeant Brinkman voluntarily stepped down from this role, but only after having prepared another officer to take on these important duties. I'll stop for 1 second. Megan, if you could bring up that picture. So this is from earlier last year. This is Officer Sinkinovich, Officer Bonanno, and Officer Profit on their second day at work here in the township. Big smiles, look at all the paperwork in front of them. What I couldn't capture in this picture was Sergeant Brinkman was at the other end of the table, and he's leaning back with the General Orders book, which is about this thick, glasses down and nose a little bit. The wise and experienced Sergeant Brinkman is reading to them, and it was like a Norman Rockwell picture. All that was missing was like a fireplace. So if you could bring up the next picture, that's after they're done the program. So they're still smiling just a little bit. So I'll read the end here. Therefore, Sergeant John Brinkman is awarded the Meritorious Service Medal for his professionalism and dedication to the training of Upper Gwynedd police officers and the best traditions and the highest standards of the department. Presented with honor and respect, this 12th day of February, 2024. My pleasure now to turn it over to Deputy Chief Ted Kiola for the Officer of the Year Award.
So this award is given to the officer that is chosen by the other officers in the department. Chief and I do not vote. This award is voted on by the officer's peers. And this year's recipient and the youngest in Upper Gwynedd history goes to Officer Montana Lightheart. Officer Montana Lightheart is nominated by his fellow officers for community relations, dedication to the department, overall professionalism, and self-initiated activity. It's my pleasure, Montana. Congratulate you on Officer of the Year.
Thank you for your time. If you're just here for the awards, you're welcome to stay, or you can go. Thank you.
Next up on the agenda are public comments. If anyone did not get a chance to sign in that would like to make any public comments, come on up, state your name, and if you're a resident or not.
Good evening. My name is Beth Miller, and I am a resident of Upper Gwynedd. I wanted to thank the commissioners and Upper Gwynedd Township staff because recently, on the 16th of January, we had a special election, which was an unusual time, and you folks are in a little bit of construction-related disarray, and it would have been the easy decision to say, no, we're sorry, we can't host having an election here at this time. But you folks didn't make the easy decision. You made the difficult decision in favor of the voters of Upper Gwynedd 1. And I work as the judge of election for Upper Gwynedd 1, and this is where we normally vote. And I wanted to thank you guys for making the decision, the hard decision that was inconvenient for you, that was in the best interest of our voters, because it made it easier for them to know where to come. There was no confusion, and they could come in and vote just like they normally would. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for all you do for the township residents in that role as well.
We have some residents who were concerned that if we answered questions offline, so to speak, then residents who want to hear the answer publicly would be left out. So we will continue to share any answers to questions that were posed publicly, but were answered privately at the following public meeting. At the end of last week's public meeting, there was a question about LoSAP. And from a gentleman, Mr. Michael Fellman. I'm sorry. Fellman. Oh, I see it. I'm sorry. Thanks for your email. LoSAP, North Penn Fire Company does have a LoSAP, and LoSAP means Length of Service Awards Program. So Upper Gwynedd Fire Department does not. They have other volunteer recognition programs, but North Penn Fire Company does use a LoSAP program. Again, LoSAP meaning Length of Service Awards Program. Next on the agenda, moving to our finance section. Can I have a motion to approve consent items A through I?
So moved.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Do we have any board comments? Do we have any public comments or questions? Deanna, can you do a roll call?
President Carter,
Here.
Vice
Aye, I'm
President
sorry.
Moody,
Aye.
Commissioner Hall,
Aye.
Commissioner McNaney,
Aye.
Commissioner Mull.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. Can I have a motion to approve Resolution 05-2024, appointing Susan Baker Went to the Zoning Hearing Board?
I'll make that motion.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second?
We have a motion and a second. Do you have any board comments? Do we have any public comments? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. And before I go on, I just want to say thank you to all the volunteer appointments under letter D. For IDA, Ramesh Desai, Parks and Rec, Katie Starantino, EAC, Dennis Went, North Wales Library, Jennifer DeMario, Norgwen Poole, Dana Simmons, Parks and Rec, Christina Petrock, Planning, Dennis Went, HRC, Linda Balas, Zoning Hearing Board, Susan Baker Went, and Planning, Randall Jones. Thank you to all of our residents who have volunteered their time for these various boards and commissions. I'll now turn it over.
I'm sorry, President Carter. Both the Wents are here tonight.
I know.
So thank you so much for volunteering and for coming out to our meetings.
That's why I wanted to announce it. I will now turn it over to Commissioner Moody, for zoning planning.
Thank you. I'd like to make a motion to advertise ordinance 2024-01, commercial zoning ordinance text amendment. I believe we talked about this last week, but this is the township is looking to amend ordinance 01-2024, chapter 195, zoning to provide a modern definition for a convenience store and to recognize that the sale of gasoline shall require a special exception by the zoning hearing board and district regulations shall apply to the convenience store.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Do we have any board comments? Do we have any public comments? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. I'll now turn it over to Commissioner Hull.
Thank you, President Carter. As our chief explained to us last week, this vehicle is a leftover from 2023. We're still feeling the delays in the supply chain, which is why we don't already have this vehicle. I would like to make a motion to approve the purchase of a 2023 Ford Police Interceptor as a replacement vehicle in the amount of $41,600.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second?
We have a motion and a second. We have any board comments? We have any public comments? Deanna, will you do a roll call?
President Carter,
Aye.
Vice President Moody,
Aye.
Commissioner Hall,
Aye.
Commissioner McNaney,
Aye.
Commissioner Mull.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously.
Item number 11 is from our fire marshal, Connor McCain. Our deputy fire marshal is on a leave of absence, and Connor believes that hiring a third-party company to assist with the fire inspections will be a big help. He's researched several companies and is confident that Barry Islett and Associates will be the right fit for Upper Gwynedd Township. I'd like to make a motion to approve the proposal from Barry Islett for fire inspections.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Do we have any board comments? Do we have any public comments? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously.
We have been working with our solicitor's office to complete an agreement with Bus Patrol America. They are a private company that provides equipment and technology to detect school bus red light vehicle violations. The company enters into agreements with municipalities and school districts to split the money generated from violations issued with no cost to the municipality. The board previously approved this action, but we weren't ready until now with the resolution. I'd like to make a motion to approve Resolution 06-2024, adoption of the Bus Patrol Intergovernmental Agreement with North Penn School District.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second?
We have a motion and a second. Do we have any board comments? Do we have any public comments? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously.
And I'd like to just add one item of interest. The North Penn Fire Department, who is the North Wales Borough Fire Department, just in case you don't know what that name means, they service North Wales Borough, Upper Gwynedd, and Lower Gwynedd. They had their annual fire banquet this past weekend. And they were kind enough to extend an invitation to the board. And President Carter and myself and our husbands were able to attend. And we just had a wonderful time on Saturday night. And I wanted to thank 62 for their hospitality. We're very grateful for all they do to help keep us safe. And it was just fun to join in their celebration. So I wanted to share that with everybody. Thank you, President Carter.
Thank you. I will now turn it over to Commissioner Mull, Public Works, Parks, and Recreation.
Thank you, President Carter. The Public Works Department currently owns a 1997 backhoe, and due to the age and the use of that vehicle, it's time to replace it with a more reliable and updated vehicle. So I'm making a motion to approve the purchase of a 2023, or I beg your pardon, motion to approve the proposal to purchase a 2024 side shift backhoe from CoStar's vendor, Earthborn, in the amount of $164,031,005.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second?
We have a motion and a second. Do we have any board comments? Do we have any public comments? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously.
Thank you, President Carter. Moving along, the township currently owns a 2000 Ford truck that has 194,287 miles on it. And we're interested, we've purchased a new box truck, and we'd like to get rid of the old box truck through a sale on Municipid. So I'm making a motion to approve selling a 2000 Ford truck on Municipid.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Do we have any board comments? Do you have any public comments? Deanna, will you do a roll call?
Oh, we don't need a roll call. Sorry.
Oh.
My bad.
Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously.
Thank you, President Carter. Every year, the wastewater and treatment plant assesses the condition of the pipes within the system and determines which are in most need of immediate repair and replacement. Then the township advertisement for the equipment rental bids for the upcoming stormwater program. So I'm making a motion to advertise the bid for equipment rental and labor for various stormwater projects.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second?
We have a motion and a second. Do we have any board comments? Do we have any public comments? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you, President Carter. I'm making a motion to approve the 2024 golf outing contract with Commonwealth National Golf Club for the outing to be held on April 15th, 2024. This outing is used by our fundraiser for our Parks and Rec Department.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
So moved.
We have a motion and a second. Do we have any board comments? Do we have any public comments? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you, President Carter. Finally, we had Newport Basin retrofitted to work properly, and the retrofit was completed, but it was not draining properly thereafter. So the township engineers suggested we engage in some stormwater modifications to help the basin drain better, and we utilized Floyd Hirsch to do the work. So I'm making a motion to approve the payment to Floyd Hirsch for the Newbury Basin project in the amount of $33,150.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Do we have any board comments? Do we have any public comments? Deanna, will you do a roll call?
President Carter,
Aye.
Vice President Moody,
Aye.
Commissioner Hall,
Aye.
Commissioner McNaney,
Aye.
Commissioner Mull.
Motion passes unanimously. Thank you, Commissioner Mull. Move on to wastewater treatment. Item number 18. Can I have a motion to approve Resolution 04-2024 endorsing the W-Quip Management Committee recommendation to form a municipal consortium, which Megan graciously explained and thoroughly last week?
So moved.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Do we have any board comments? Do we have any public comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Can I have a motion to approve the contract with PAC 2 to replace the scum throws in primary tank number 1 in the amount of $29,500?
So moved.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Do we have any board comments? Any public comments? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. Can I have a motion to authorize the township manager to sign the CFA Small Water and Sewer Grant in the amount of $421,231?
I'll make a motion.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Do we have any board comments? Do we have any public comments? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Deanna, will you do a roll call?
No roll call.
Oh, that's right, because we're getting
Yes. We're accepting money.
Motion passes unanimously. Can I have a motion to approve the proposal from CoStar's vendor, Mr. Rehab, for CIPP liners and vacatees in the amount of $371,760.50?
Motion.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
So moved.
We have a motion and a second. We have any board comments? We have any public comments? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. I'm gonna get it right. Can I have a motion to approve the February 2024 open invoices?
So moved.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any board comments? Any public comments? Deanna, we do a roll call?
President Carter,
Aye.
Vice President Moody,
Aye.
Commissioner Hall,
Aye.
Commissioner McNaney.
Aye.
Commissioner Mull.
Motion passes unanimously. And finally, can I have a motion to approve the February 2024 paid invoices?
So moved.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Do we have any board comments? Do we have any public comments? Deanna, can you do a roll call?
President Carter,
Aye.
Vice President Moody,
Aye.
Commissioner Hall,
Aye.
Commissioner McNaney,
Aye.
Commissioner Mull.
Motion passes unanimously. And we are adjourned this evening. Thank you for coming out.